Family, today I would like to talk about more of my blessings. I spoke to you about everything I'm going through and all that, but that I still love God and things are looking up and all that. And it just made me reminisce and think about things that I went through and how I'm alive because that's what God wanted. I'm going to speak about when I was like 15 years old. My, my father went to Canada with my mom. And when they went to Canada, you know, I got the house to myself. Well, it was a room, really, not a house or not, but that's where we lived. And I lost my mind. I figure there's nobody watching me, nobody hoovering over me to see what's my next step. So, like I said before, I was real secretive and all that. Here I am, 15 years old, and instead of thinking like, I guess, a normal kid, right? Trying to see the girlfriend or go out with the guys. Nope, I was already a drug addict. And I chose to just, I'm free in the apartment. I don't have to worry about nobody coming into the room. I say apartment because that's where we used to live. But it was a furnished room. And basically, I said, oh, now I could just shoot up drugs and everything. And I don't have to worry about nobody knocking on the door. So it was early. So I decided to shoot up some drugs. And like I said, I got loose. I was like, oh, wow, I'm in. No watchdog. And I just kept shooting up drugs until finally I caught an overdose. I was strong. It was summer day. We used to live one flight up. The window was open because it was summer. And it was like a late reaction, and I don't understand why, because I was already mainlining. And I look out the window, and I go into a big knot, like I'm going down, going like this, going down on the window. And so what happens is, everybody looked up, and they figured I was gonna fall out the window. I don't know who, so it had to be somebody close to the family, decided to call my grandmother. So they called my grandmother, and I guess I was fighting there enough, you know. And finally she showed up. Why did they call her? But then again, it wasn't my time, right? It's God's. I don't know how they got her number because I don't even think I had my own grandmother's number at the time. But then I find out at the end that she showed up. Ain't nobody called her. She came to check on me. To make a long story short, my grandmother came into the block. She managed to get in the building and go upstairs and grab me and pull me in and just hit me and hit it and hit it and hit it. Somebody came to help her and they drug me downstairs to, 2 flights down and it was summer. They put me my head under a pump. They almost drowned me trying to save my life. They gave me milk. They got me out of it. But you see, I never thought that I was gonna live. I was so out of it. There was a thing in the back of my head, feeling I was like I was gonna die, because I every time I look up in the air, all I see is like 5, 6 people surrounding me, looking at me, and my grandmother screaming. Well, they got me out that overdose without even taking me to the hospital. And if you think that was the worst part was when my father came home, my grandmother explaining to my father what I did. She said she couldn't see my pupil, that only she seen was the white part, that my pupils went to the behind my head. My grandmother herself said that she knew how did I live through that and didn't die, that she knew that I was going to die. You see, Scott been with me. That's just one of the testimonies. That's when I was 15, how he saved my life over and over again. I say this little story because it's part of my life. But the main thing out this story is never underestimate the power of the Lord. You see, I know he saved my life over and over again. We all belong to God. We just don't like to face that. We put a lot of people before him. You see, I have stories, but my main story is that Jesus is real. That Jesus knows exactly what we're going to do before we do it. And I say by that I've thought of so many ways who knew my grandmother's phone number, who was this. The Lord called her to come to my rescue. You see, that's the way he operates. And I say that to say, don't ever count yourself out. Give your faith to the Lord. When you give your faith to the Lord, you can't go wrong. And you see, I say that today, but like I always said, I always thought I was the man before. You see, all I'm going to tell you is, look at all the things God did for me before I even said I believe in you, Jesus. Because he was preparing me of who I'm becoming today. And I say becoming because even though I've changed my life drastically, I'm still changing my life. I still got a lot to learn. And I'm going to say my favorite words. Just because I do these videos and I'm writing a book and tell you how much I believe in God does not make me better than you. The only thing is, and I want everybody to have the same faith I have for the Lord. You could be in the same situation as me or even better, because all our stories are written. Thank you, Jesus. God bless you guys. Real Talk with Victor. I will see you tomorrow. God bless.